Hello and welcome to DieCastRestos for a special reflection video following yesterday's antics. I'll run through my collection, which is mostly set out in chronological order, and then give you a brief tour of my desk setup while it's tidy between projects. So this collection began in March 2019 with my 14C Lomas ambulance build. I'll leave links to playlists featuring the corresponding models throughout if you want to catch any of the original videos. This 75B Ferrari is my first custom on my shelf from May 2019. I don't think I did too badly with the detailing, but the glass was a bit cloudy. I love these 37B Carrier Coca-Cola trucks. I've got the earlier A model lined up to do in the future. We've also got the 50A comma pickup, 11B ERF tanker, 66A Citroen DS, and my oddly coloured Cortina Resto Plus. One of my most popular releases was this 25B Volkswagen, which stands at number 2 overall at the time of recording. This caddy ambulance was in an awful state. I remember it being completely covered in thick yellow paint, similar with the Land Rover. The Corgi P1800 was my first build-off attempt. My lines are a bit weak on that. Something has affected the paint on these 10C sugar containers, as both have blistered to a degree. One for the redo list in future, methinks. You'll notice that some of my customs aren't sitting on the wheels from their videos. This is because early on I used green light wheels that I had to reuse over and over. Now here are my number 1 entries, the Ford Anglia and Harry Potter replica for a movie cars build-off. That was way back in August 2019, and it still continues to be my most popular video. Next up are my pair of 41C GT40s, and next to these is the 57C Land Rover fire truck with its dodgy decals. Onto the next shelf, we start off with 2 ISO Grifos. Again, one did have custom wheels, but has since reverted to the originals. The Mark II radio truck was another popular build. That is a great casting and extremely well detailed. Around this period is where YouTube changed their algorithms, so viewership dropped massively. Instead of attracting several thousand views per release, each was now getting hundreds. Not to complain, as all independent creators experienced the same unless you were well established. But still, it didn't deter me putting out my videos, as I enjoy putting them together, dissimilar to what I said in my April 1st release. We're now at castings from December 2019, and we are missing only 2 models from these shelves. The first was episode 3, the BMW 323i I customised for my brother for his birthday in May, released in April. The next was a Hot Wheels VW Caddy that I released on Christmas Day as another gift for him. We've just seen the 62C Mercury Cougar, which is one of my personal favourite castings from this collection. It looks like the window has unfastened itself on the 1E Mercedes truck. Here are 2 20C Chevy Impala taxis, one of which I gave the Resto Plus treatment by giving the rear a big chrome cover surrounding the taillights, as well as some additional side detailing. Again, I've got another pair here. These are the 19D Lotus 25s, as would have been driven by the late Jim Clark. Not at this scale, obviously. Next to that, we have a 40B Leyland Coach and an MG 1100. Second in is my 1-year anniversary Lomas ambulance, which was a showcase to highlight how my amateur skills had improved over the previous 12 months, as well as how my video production had changed too. I'm surprised at how many multiples of castings I've completed on reflection. Here's a double of the 13D Dodge Wreck truck, then a duo of service ambulances, albeit on different rows. The 57B Chevy Impala is another I'm very fond of. I love the colour combination and how well this reflects the Lesney original. I was also really pleased with how my build-off custom majorette Mercedes 350 SL turned out. I think this brown really suits it. One of my more complex builds was the Mercedes 220 SE sitting on the end here. The eventual result looked nice though. This Seco 959 custom needs some new wheels for sure. Next we have the gorgeous bottle float. Next to that is the Austin A55 Cambridge. Not an identical pair here, but my 13A and 13B rec trucks both carry the same livery. Then we have the 31B Ford, followed by the 68B Mercedes Coach. My two-part build-off Porsche 917LH proudly kicks off the front row. I've been meaning to permanently refit the Pontiac Firebird's gold wheels for some time, as they suit it 100%. My build-off hauling gas in Texaco colours follows, and on the end we have the 15C Tipax and 29A Milk Float. There's a series of good quality restorations and customs along the back of this shelf from September 2020 onwards. I really do love the Hot Wheels Ford Falcon XB, where it's been a bit more refined from the lowered release version. Then we've got a pair of 72A Fordsons with their variations, a 39B Pontiac convertible, a 71A water truck, and my build-off Chevy Caprice convertible conversion. Another of my personal favourite customs is the superfast Lamborghini Miura in green. Just everything about it looks right, apart from its now stock wheels, but I'll get some 3D printed accurate ones, I think. The 45C Ford Group 6 was my first true and full superfast restoration. The roller here represents my 100th video, reached on the 18th of December 2020. I'm still waiting for my 400 likes on the BP tanker before someone wins it. There's my Le Mans Corvette build-off entry I was quite proud of, and close by is the vintage Seco Opel Record that continues to miss its seat backrests. We have the 35B Snow Track on the left, a 33A Zodiac, two 47C DAFs in the alternate colour schemes, then one of my more difficult restorations, the Seco Mercedes 280 SL. The bodywork on that was a disaster. Another with a similarly bad body was this Skoda that I now adore. At the back is my Resto Plus Corgi Capri, next to a restoration and a custom of the 32B E-Type. Finally, a custom on its new wheels, the Majorette Quattro. Well, there was no way I was putting the awful double-wide chunky monsters back on that. My ERF Everready truck still has its battery proudly in the back. I love that it fits perfectly. The Seco Bmw was another that was badly repainted. The upcoming double 46B was to test out two different suppliers picked for decals. Then we have the 10F Plymouth, continuing my post-superfast switch Matchbox restorations. That's next to the 31C Continental, then the ERF Horsebox with the side door open, and finally my BMW 5 Series Custom. Here's the 6C Euclid dump truck with the tiny MG midget beside it. Another I must sort out wheels for is my glorious Trabant. I love this casting more than most. No idea why, I just love the unusual nature of it. I'm quite proud of John Cleland's Astra as well, the gold wheels absolutely set it off. Then there's the 29C fire truck, the Formula 5000, and missing from between that and the Zodiac is my brother's BMW 325i that I customise as yet another birthday gift for him. I think that this VW pickup looks great. I'm a big fan of this era of Seco. We then have the custom Scimitar, my nightmare of a roller restoration, custom Maisto Porsche 356A, restored from a horrible repaint crane truck, and the Hightailer with Martini stickers. It took me ages to find that Mercedes 600 SEL in black there, at least one in a suitable enough condition to customise. The 59B Fire Chief's car was another in an awful state, but eventually turned out okay. That was the first in a series of Fords that made up Ford Month. Between the trolleybus and the VW camper would have been my dad's Vauxhall Forenza by Lone Star that I customised for him. But the rest should all be here until the commissions begin. I enjoyed doing the Lamborghini Marzelle and was kindly sent some clear window pieces so I can do a proper custom when I pick another one up. The commissioned Datsun 240Z would go between the Sierra and the Lamborghini customs here. But we are nearing the end of my current releases now. I've had to crop the video so I don't give too much away about my next ones. You'll note the entries from my 1st of April release haven't made it into my display cabinet. One that couldn't fit into the main display is my Peterbilt triple build from August 2021. But as promised, here's a brief glimpse at my exceptionally tidy work area. I've got a nice view out to the garden when it's light. Speaking of light, I have these two 45-watt LED lamps illuminating my workspace. All of my paints and supplies are stored in drawers around me. We'll have a quick look under the desk. Under here we have some more drawers, my drill, toolbox and other various oddments. Also an Easter egg for my wife, well hidden seeing as she never comes in here. And behind me is where I keep all of the castings on the to-do list. I have 30 drawers here. One side has my childhood collection, while the other is all of the castings awaiting their fate. Shall we take a peek? Okay, but only a very quick one. Leave a like and a comment if you want to see more of the to-do drawers. The more I get, the sooner I might do it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again for the next one. Bye for now.